Hey, welcome to another Camino reflection. This is coming after I shared with you the 31 days of my hiking along the Camino. I still have another reflection or two about actually making it home. So I am going to be sharing that with you, in the next day or two. But I'm just interrupting that with something that I thought was important to share as I finished the Camino. The Camino is the way. Camino refers to a road, a way, a path, and it's something that, having walked it in a way that in a manner that had me strip down so many other aspects of my life, where my day-to-day activity was quite a simple one. It was to get up and it was to walk. And oftentimes walking was hiking, and that hiking had a variety of circumstances and a variety of encounters and so many other aspects of things. But when you like strip it all down, it was myself walking on this way. And I think one of the great gifts that comes from doing this, walking the Camino, in the spirit of faith, in the spirit of the tradition of the Camino, is that it amplifies the reality that I'm a pilgrim, even back in my own life. This is something that will show up in my, I think in my last reflection, and I get back to the sort of the real world, is that seeking his face. Leo Dupont was this great layperson who embraced the reality of seeking the face of God, seeking the face of Jesus in the Veronica's veil image that he had hanging in his home. And there was something so deeply ingrained in him that even though he never left Tours, France for 30 years, even though he, stayed in one place, he named himself, he referred to himself not as a man who had a stability of remaining in place, but he referred to himself as the pilgrim. And I think that that was a fruit of the reality of his devotion to the Holy Face. The more he gazed upon the Holy Face, the more he prayed the Golden Arrow prayer and the prayers, the litany of the Holy Face, and the other prayers that flowed from Sister Mary of St. Peter, the more that he came into both intimate contact with the Lord through the Holy Face image, and the greater that his awareness became, the even more painful awareness of the distance that still was yet to come. As deep as his connection and communion and communication that he experienced with Jesus through his seeking of the face, the contemplating the holy face of Jesus, the more he became aware fundamentally that the structure of his existence was being on the way. I'm not yet home. And here's the word, paradox. It's a paradoxical thing to experience simultaneously this sense of intimate communion and communication and connection, which speaks of union. That means I'm with you. That means I'm here, I'm arrived. And simultaneously, no, I'm not yet there. No, there's a distance to go. No, I'm still separated. No, I'm still not with you in the full, final, complete, perfect way that you intend for me and that I've been made for. And so, this fundamental structure of my existence as homo viator, that's again St. Thomas Aquinas, homo viator is the structure of human existence on earth. I am one who is on the way. I am one who is on the way. And that is something that then associates with, it comes into relationship with Jesus and his identification as the one who is the way. In John 8, I am the way. I recently offered a reflection on that in an earlier stage about how I've come to reflect more fully on Jesus being the way. And I talked at that point about sharing with you the many faceted diamond of Jesus' self-identification as being the way. And so I want to unfold that now. Did you hear what I just called the facets of a diamond? And I love that analogy for understanding these rich truths of the faith. In this instance, let's call it one of the titles of Jesus. He self-identifies as the way, right? As the way, the truth, and the life. He's the the light of the world, the Son of Man, the Son of God, all these different titles, Lord, Messiah. And yet there's a meaning, a richness all by itself among the titles in each of them. There's a mysterious dimension of each of them. And so today I'm going to reflect on the meaning that Jesus is the way. And I was surprised, and I'm going to guess that you'll be surprised too, to listen to the unfolding of the many facets of this truth that Jesus is for you the way. And what does that mean for your life? That Jesus announces to you, one who is created by God with this structure that says, I'm not yet home, I'm on the way. And then he says, I've come and being born among you, I am the way. Well, let's take a look. So I'm just going to share with you and not offer in like lots of like extended reflections, but brief reflections on this reality that Jesus is the way. And so, yes, of course, Jesus being the way, he leads you on your way. He's your leader on the way. And so he says, what? Come follow me. And so that's in John chapter 1 and in Psalm 23, right? We have this idea that he leads me to green pastures through dark valleys. So when Jesus says, I'm the way, he's saying in one sense, one facet, that no matter where you're at in your lives, you don't always know, like the idea of, I can see 10 steps ahead. I know exactly where I'm headed, right? And like, okay, where am I headed in my career? Where am I headed in my relationship? Where am I headed in this situation that's unfolding in my family? And the beautiful truth is I don't have to know as long as I know who's leading me. Jesus, you're the way. You're the one leading me on the way. And so please lead me and lead my family as we're walking this path. So Jesus is saying, I'm the one who's going to lead you on your way. And the second is that he's with you on your way. He's with you on the way. If he's the way, and your structure is to walk on the way, he's with you. He's present to you on the way. In fact, isn't that the final promise of Jesus? It's the way the Gospel of Matthew ends, right? Go, therefore, and baptize and teach, Father, Son, baptize in Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and follow I've commanded you. And remember, I am with you until the end of time. I will be with you. I'm going to be with you on the way, on your way, in your life. In Exodus 17, there was a rebellion against Moses as he's bringing them through the desert. Why? Well, they reached down to the fundamental temptation, the Israelites, the fundamental temptation that they had during their time in the desert, their time that is meant to what? Cleanse them of their attachments to Egypt and to form and prepare them to enter the Holy Land. So here they are, they're on the way, the Exodus, the way, they're on the road, and their fundamental temptation is to question whether God is with them or not. Do we trust that God is with us or not? And that was considered rebellion. That was the temptation. That was the rebellion to doubt that the Lord is with us. And so Jesus is with you. Okay, continue. He leads you. He's with you. How about he approaches you on your way? Not only are there times when you're walking and you realize, okay, the Lord is leading me, and I can trust that, even if I don't know where I'm going, I know that He is actually leading me. Then I'm okay. Or He's with me. How about He approaches you on the way? And so Luke 24, right, the story of the road to Emmaus. Cleopas and another disciple are walking, and Jesus approaches them. So Jesus is going to take the initiative, and you can trust this, that because He's the way, as you're walking on your way, when you're not aware of it, you may not recognize Him. And in the instance of Cleopas, he's arguing. They're having a heated discussion, and yet Jesus takes the initiative and approaches. And so I want you to, again, have that sense of confidence that when Jesus says He's the way, it means He's going to be the way for you, even when you're in a troubled, conflictual relationship on the path that you're walking that isn't easy. He's taking the initiative, and he's approaching you on the way. He also is going to be passing by you on the way. And in passing by you, asking you to make the invitation to reach out to Him, to invite Him in, to engage with Him. Okay, did you hear that? That's, again, it's a subtle shift. Jesus is passing by you on the way. So there are two instances of this in the Gospels. First, Luke 18:35, blind Bartimaeus. Jesus is passing by, and Bartimaeus stops him, shouts, "I don't want to miss this moment, Lord. I don't want you to pass by my life. And so I'm crying out to you, Lord, Son of David, have pity on me. I'm going to grab your attention and say, please come to me in my regard. Don't pass me by. Come to me right now." And then there's the story of the road to Emmaus. When they reach Emmaus, Jesus acts as if He's going further. And they say, no, come in, and break bread with us. And that's where Jesus reveals Himself in the breaking of the bread. So there's a opportunity, an invitational aspect to Jesus being on the way, that we are also called upon to take an initiative or to respond. Maybe it would be a better thing, because Jesus has taken the initiative and is passing by our lives. It's up to us to take the initiative in response and say, "Please come to me." You could even think of the Syrophoenician woman whose daughter was possessed by a demon, and she comes and begs Jesus. Remember, He calls her a dog and the food to the dogs, and she keeps pleading, right? She took the initiative and approached. You could even say the leper in Mark chapter 1 comes up to Jesus, right? Jesus is in his orbit and in her orbit, and they take the initiative to approach and say, "Jesus, don't pass by my life in this moment." So again, an encouragement for you. If you're in one of those moments and you might be wondering, "Jesus, are you passing by this moment? I need you. I need you to come and to intervene and to take action." Jesus awaits you on your way. Jesus is waiting for you. You're going to bump into Him as you're walking your journey. John chapter 4. It's the woman at the well. Right? Remember now, the woman goes to the well at the wrong time of day. She goes in the middle of the day. Women would have gone first thing in the morning to get their water for the needs of the day. She doesn't go. She goes during the height of the sun, totally exposed. She goes when no one else is going to be there, because no one else is going to be there, because she's that woman that everybody knows. And yet Jesus sends off the apostles to go get food, and He's waiting for her. And in waiting for her, He encounters her and takes the initiative. She who was attempting to avoid gets encountered. And so that's, again, just a beautiful word of encouragement that one of these beautiful facets of Jesus being the way is that he's waiting for you on your way, even when you'd want to avoid him, even when you think you're kicked out. How can you talk to me, a woman, right? And a Samaritan besides? How can you talk to me? And he does not relent. He continues to press in and tells her everything that everything there was to know about her. He told her, and yet he accepted her. And so here's this woman who thought she was, again, cut off through shame, and yet she ends up being named and known and accepted and embraced, and that changes everything. That can happen through the truth that Jesus is the way, and he's waiting for us on our way. He also provides for us on our way. He provides for us. In 1 Kings, you have Elijah, who is fleeing on his way. He's fleeing because the king is trying to kill him, and yet the Lord provides through crows bringing him food. And so the Lord provides. Of course, the Exodus, every day, the Lord's providing. A pillar of cloud by day and of flame by night, pillar of flame by night, and then the manna, and then the quail every day. You follow the Lord's way, he's going to provide for you. He's going to give you what you need. He protects you on the way. He protects you. And so Exodus 17 with the Amalekites, they come and wage war against Moses and Joshua and the Israelites. So here they are attempting to follow the Lord on his path, on the path they have set out for them. And they're not choosing to fight, but the fight comes to them. The battle comes to them. And the battle comes to them, and what ends up happening? The Lord says, I'm going to provide for you what you need, but you've got to turn to me. You've got to pray. Hands are lifted by Moses, and he's supported by Aaron and Hur. And then Joshua wins the battle because they're praying. They have the strength they need for the battle to be protected on the way. And so we will be attacked. There will be attacks that come against us on our way, and just trust that the Lord has protection for you when you turn to him in prayer on the way. He also preserves you on your way. Psalm 91. He has given his angels command over you that lest your foot strike a stone, they will be there to prevent a fall. And so the angels are, again, messengers and signs from God of the Lord, preserving you as you walk your way. Lest your foot strike against a stone. It's literally referring to walking on the path that is yours. So the Lord is what? He leads you, he's with you, he approaches you, he passes by you, he awaits you, he provides for you, he protects you, he preserves you. He also rescues you on your way. He rescues you. Luke 15, the lost sheep. The 99 are there, there's one missing. He has such a care for you that he's seeking you out. He's seeking you out when you are leaving the fold. He is going to rescue you, carry you on your shoulders, and get you back to the flock. And you read reflections on what it would take sometimes to get a sheep to be able to be on the shoulders. You'd have to hurt the leg to be able to get the sheep to be compliant, to be able to be carried back to the fold. The Lord is going to rescue us even when we leave the way. And he'll see you through. He will see you through your way. Right? So I think of Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. Jesus is the good shepherd. He is going to shepherd us all the way home. The shepherd in Psalm 23 is going to get them through the dark valleys to those green pastures, protecting from the wolves and other enemies. Jesus is the good shepherd, and he's going to lead his sheep. They hear his voice, and he will lead them home and safely in and out of that sheep gate. More to say, but just wanted to unfold for you some of the beautiful facets of this diamond, that Jesus is the way. And those were just so quick, those references. But I hope and pray that they were a blessing to you as I reflect with you the fruits of the Camino, where Jesus is the way. God bless.